The afternoon sun burned gently over a quiet suburban street as Ethan, a 20-year-old mechanic apprentice, wiped the sweat off his forehead. His old blue overalls were stained with oil, but his eyes carried a warmth that people rarely noticed, the kind that came from a good heart, not money. He'd just finished another long day at the local auto shop when he noticed a silver SUV pulled over by the side of the road. The hood was open, and a young woman stood helplessly beside it, tapping at her phone in frustration. Ethan slowed his steps. "Need a hand, ma'am?" he asked. The woman looked up, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Oh, thank God. I've been waiting for roadside assistance for over an hour. My son's in the back seat. We were on our way to his doctor's appointment." Ethan peeked inside and saw a small boy, maybe 6 years old, sitting quietly with a stuffed dinosaur clutched in his hands. The boy smiled shyly, and Ethan smiled back. "Pop the hood," Ethan said kindly. "Let's take a look." Within minutes, his hands were deep in the engine. The battery was corroded, a belt was loose, and the alternator connection was barely hanging on. "You're lucky it didn't die in the middle of the road," he said. The woman sighed. "Lucky doesn't exactly describe my life right now," she muttered under her breath. Ethan glanced at her, tired eyes, a worn-out expression but still strong. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I'll get you going." After about 20 minutes of work using tools from his backpack, Ethan got the engine roaring again. The woman's eyes widened. You fixed it?" Ethan grinned. "Yep, it's not perfect, but it'll get you home and to the shop tomorrow for a proper repair." She reached into her purse. "How much do I owe you?" He shook his head immediately. "Nothing. You've got your hands full. Just take care of the little guy." Her lips parted in disbelief. "You're serious?" Ethan nodded. "Yeah, my mom raised me alone too. I know what it's like when every dollar counts." Her expression softened. "Thank you. Ethan, right?" she said, glancing at his name tag. "I'm Lena, and this little guy is Max." "Hi, Max," Ethan said, kneeling down to the boy's level. "You take care of your mom, all right?" Max nodded eagerly. "You fixed our car. You're like Iron Man." They all laughed. For the first time in what felt like forever, Lena felt a moment of peace. That night, Ethan returned home to his small rented room above the auto shop. He couldn't stop thinking about the woman and her son. Something about them stayed with him, the way she tried to stay strong, even when everything around her seemed to fall apart. The next afternoon, as he was cleaning up the garage, he saw the same silver SUV pull in. Lena stepped out, smiling. "Thought I'd come by to thank you properly." "You didn't have to," Ethan said, surprised. "I did," she said softly, holding out a brown paper bag. "Homemade lasagna." "It's not much, but Max insisted we bring you dinner." Ethan's heart warmed. "That's really kind of you." Just then, Max ran over, holding something behind his back. "Ethan, I made this," he said proudly. It was a crayon drawing. A stick figure family, a woman, a boy, and a tall man with messy brown hair holding a wrench. Underneath it read, "Me, Mommy, and Ethan." Lena froze for a second. "Max," she said gently, "that's not—" But Ethan just smiled. "That's the best drawing I've ever seen, buddy." The atmosphere softened again. Lena sighed, half embarrassed, half touched. "He's been missing a father figure for a while," she admitted quietly. Ethan nodded, not knowing what to say. He was only 20, still figuring out his own life, but something about this small family stirred something deep inside him. Weeks passed, and Lena started visiting the garage more often, first for small car issues, then just to bring coffee or lunch. Ethan tried to stay professional, but there was no denying the connection between them. One evening, as the shop closed, it started raining. Lena pulled up again, this time not for repairs, but because her son had insisted on seeing Ethan. They sat together in the office while Max told stories about school. Lena watched Ethan with quiet admiration, the way he listened, laughed, and treated her son with patience and kindness. When it was time to leave, Lena hesitated by the door. "Ethan," she said softly, "I don't usually say things like this, but you've done more for us than you realize." He smiled shyly. "I just helped with your car." She shook her head. You helped me breathe again." There was silence. Rain pattered on the roof. Then she took a deep breath and said, "Do you want to be my son's father?" Ethan froze, his heart skipping a beat. She immediately laughed nervously, waving her hands. "Oh God, that came out wrong. I just mean, you become a part of his life and mine. And if you ever wanted to be around more, we'd like that." He smiled, a slow, warm, genuine smile. "I'd like that too." Months later, Ethan found himself sitting in a small park, watching Max ride his bike, while Lena read a book beside him. He reached for her hand, and she smiled. That same quiet smile from the day he first fixed her car, from a struggling young mechanic to someone's family. Ethan realized he'd fixed more than just a broken engine that day. He'd helped heal two hearts, and in return, they'd fixed his too.